Okay, just want to have a quick video to explain a code snippet I wrote for reading the TXT file into Python as a list of float. My example is very simple. 1, 2, 3 here, and we want to read them as exactly this into Python, but a list of float. So if we go back to, this is the final code, and we could use a Jupyter Notebook to explain it a little bit better. So if we open this file and read in, so with this with, we don't need to handle the f.close. It will handle the close the file automatically after it doesn't reach the end of the content. So if we read this, I printed this content, so you can see that it reads in as 1, 2, 3. But the problem is that first of all, the strip function actually what it does is it removes the space at the beginning and at the end of the string. You might need it or might need not, don't need it based on your need. You can apply it or not. But the most important thing is A is read in as a string, and what we want is convert this into list of float. So the problem is that first of all, we have to split it based on the comma, and after we split it based on comma, we can see it becomes like a list of 3 elements. Each element itself is a string, and we can see that we can easily actually convert the second element into float. You can do that based on just do 2.0, and then this supposed to convert it and give you a number 2 here. But the problem is the first element and the third element has this symbol here, so you cannot actually convert it easily. That's why you need to write a conversion function that whenever it sees this pattern, it should remove this character and just extract the float. And you can actually use, there are multiple ways to do that. You can actually use a regularization block to achieve that, which regular expression actually in Python can do that, but I personally want to just write my own code. So I wrote this conversion function, which at the beginning I just want to be consistent. So instead of deal with string, I convert everything to byte UTF-8. Because of that, I put a B here just to indicate to Python that this is a byte string, not a standard string. It's a byte. And then what we are doing here is we use the built-in function starts with and ends with. We detect if an element is start with this symbol, then we just ignore the first character, and then here is the same thing. If it ends with that, we ignore it. So else we just pass it through. So then I just use the least comprehension by kind of going through. Split this. Remember that it will return us the essentially return us the list of 3 elements, and each element is itself is a string. So here we will essentially loop through that. So for each item, we'll apply this conversion function on top of it, and it will supposed to convert those elements into float and then make it list. And then finally, I wrote this line because I want to deal with multiple, not only just one line but multiple lines. So we can test this code by just run this file example reading txt, reading.txt. No such file. Maybe it's, sorry, I tapped the wrong thing. We can see that it's print out this stuff, and we can test by its multiple line capability. We can copy this 5 times, I guess, to make it a little bit more interesting. We can even add some element in it. So save and then run this again. We can see that we successfully extracted it as a list of list, and this internal list will be a list of float.